Sit in the Hall of Fame and the world will know your name. Good evening and welcome to Personality Profile here on Joy 99.7 FM. Yes, another lovely Thursday evening is here and I've taken my seat. I don't know what you're up to now. You're probably stuck in traffic somewhere in town. I know there's a little bit of traffic in town, but don't worry. This conversation will keep you company on your drive home. If you're home already, grab a bottle of juice or something of the sort and sit back and relax and enjoy this conversation that we have for you this evening on Personality Profile. I'm excited about this one. One of my favorite people is in the seat today. Yeah. This evening, I spent time with a woman, a business leader who has worked very hard for over 2 decades, excelled in the insurance industry. She's paid her dues, made her mark, and still leading an excellent team to create more value in the insurance industry in Ghana. Yeah, she's a ball of inspiration. And tonight, we get to share her story on Personality Profile. You know, I'm always excited to when we're celebrating women leaders who are excelling and who are achieving so much in their fields. And this is one story that I'm really excited about. She's a chartered marketer, a fellow in insurance, and holds a master's in strategic and project management from the Paris Graduate School of Management. Her expertise spans across the areas of work groups and branch operations management, underwriting, claims reinsurance, risk management, projects such as bank insurance, e-insurance, insurance on wheels, you name it. She started her professional career somewhere in 1999 with Global Data International after graduating from the Chartered Institute of Marketing UK, CIM. She returned to Ghana in 2002, joined Vanguard Assurance Company Limited, where she rose through the ranks to head the broker unit. Currently, she's the managing director of NSIA Insurance Company. Please help me welcome Mrs. Norrender Debrah.
Thank you, Lexus. Thank you for
Mrs.
having me.
Akwaba.
Yeah. Please, you omitted my father's name. What dear? It's
I
very
was-
important.
No. I was coming to actually get you to show me how to pronounce it well and tell me what it means because it's a very heavy name. And you didn't get what?
To be frank, truth be told, my dad, may he rest in peace, he was from Obo. I asked him severally, Norrender, no uko fefi he?" Because I was born in the 70s, so
Yeah.
I really don't know where he got it from. And my mother used to joke to say that, well, no, Russia, I'm sure a Russian girlfriend, until date, I've tried to look for the meaning of my name. Sincerely, I don't know.
Is it?
Yeah,
What about the Wordie? Wordie?
Wordie? It's an Obo name. It's a code name.
It's a code name.
Yes, from Obo. My dad was from Obo.
Yeah.
Yes.
And your mom is also from
My mom was from Obome.
Bombing.
She actually is the last queen mother that passed last year. We barely heard this year.
Yes.
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 So she was the queen mother of Obome.
I see.
Yeah.
It's when you're by him, I cry now to hear you.
Yes. Omi
Nana
Pacho.
Wordie. Nana Wordie. Oba hima Nana Wordie.
Obome for me.
Eh, bombing for your chamu. Modi shawa. Na da ben na modi be see kunya so. Yeah, try you na ya be die to because modi share we die ne when. Oh no, but I need to say congratulations to you.
Thank you very much, Lexus.
Rising through the ranks to become MD of NSIA Insurance. I think that last I saw you were the general manager in charge of operations.
Of operations, yes.
And now you are at the helm. How does it feel?
It's an honor actually, and I'm grateful that they've had the trust to actually pull me into it because it came as a surprise.
Okay.
I actually was burying my mom, and
It was around that same period.
Yes, and I was actually called to come quickly as about 7 days before the time I was supposed to resume.
Wow.
I only got back to know that my then MD had to leave, so
Yeah.
I just had to sweep myself into the role.
How was it then? I mean, you were not really ready for it, and then it came as a surprise, and then all of a sudden you're going to be at the helm.
Yes, just like that.
And how did that feel like?
Well, it was overwhelming. I was like, am I dreaming? Like, pinch me, hit me, and
Yeah.
you turn left, turn right. There's nobody there, and everybody's looking up to you. So what do we do? Where do we go? And I was asking myself, how am I going to do this?
Wow.
Because some roles people do prepare for and are ready for. Well, you're in the general manager role, and then chances are that one day you would step into some positions. But
Yeah.
you know, you never prepare yourself enough
Yeah.
for anything. But then once
And
the
especially in
opportunity
these
comes,
circumstances, I'm sure if you knew that it was coming, you probably would have psyched yourself up. That
and especially when you have left the work environment and you were burying up the dead, and
yes.
it had to come. So it was, the transition was really swift.
Yeah. And I can even imagine because your funeral was not just a funeral. It was
It was a
whole
10-day funeral. Yes,
it was a whole festival.
10 days.
Wow.
Mm.
And how was it? I mean, I'm sure you even zapped out of the whole okay, I've lost my mother mood to see this whole tradition
Oh,
going on
yes.
and whatnot.
At its peak, you know, we don't rehearse some of these things.
Yeah.
You know, you can never say that somebody has died and we're doing it like this. So you've pictured it in your mind that this is how you're going to say it. But it is nothing like that. Absolutely nothing. I know for some of these royals, you say, you cry. You know, they will build something like a village.
Okay.
And then there's like a maze. So you have to pass through some small river. They will hide a snake here. They'll do that before you can actually go and see the body.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So,
did you see a snake?
Yeah. They had like some rubber snake is in there.
Okay.
They put a bowl of water, but because the whole place is dark, you actually go in and you don't know where you go, and it's like a maze.
Yeah.
So you have to actually find your way out of that maze to be able to go and see where they've laid her in state.
Wow.
So it was a whole experience. She was my mom, but what we had to pass through before we go to see her was another thing else.
Wow.
Yeah. And the Debrah force are a different story altogether. And then those that were shooting the guns were a different story altogether.
I don't know. I'm watching you talk about it, and I can see that you had an experience.
Yeah. And we had to walk without slippers. Our skin had to be tattooed with something.
Okay.
We had to be in not cabin sleet, but I say you frown to money, you boom and
Wow.
It was something else, and you can never be prepared enough. You can never be prepared enough. So.
But what did that particular period teach you? Did you pick up anything from that period?
When it comes to culture,
yes,
I realized that we have a very rich culture, and I think we've not told it enough. I think we've really not told it enough, because if we had, sometimes you read about something, but when reality hits you, you realize that it is a different ball game altogether. So you might read a line or two. The way you picture it and how it actually is on the ground is very different. You see Abrafos in books behave in a way, but actually seeing them using knives to cut their tongue and to pierce their body, and it's not cutting and all that. Seeing it, or the nesebe chakukoti and like that, baby or baby. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for me, my big brother is the chief. So we had to do the tradition through and through.
Yeah.
So Obema Konya, Oba Konya is all in the house. So it's not like you're doing anything partial, because you are supposed to set the example.
Yes.
So once it is you have to do it.
Yes.
So that was
But I do agree with you that we need to find a way of documenting some of these things. And because not a lot of people get to experience, I would have loved to experience this display of culture. And these are some of the stories that are probably going extinct, because the young generation can't appreciate all these traditional things that we're showcasing. How do we preserve these things? We need to document these things. So maybe those of you who are close to the stool, you need to have ways of getting some of us to document them so people can experience them or live them many years from now.
Very well noted.
I'll probably put my team together so we come and document it when they install you as the Queen Mother.
I hear you.
But anyway, let's get to know a bit more about you, and then we come to talk about your work and your career through corporate life and where you sit now. Obviously, you're from a royal home. Where were you born?
In Accra.
In Accra.
Yes.
Okay.
My mom and dad lived. Well, I grew up in Asalam Down.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Oh, it's around the corner.
Just around the corner. But you're told Chichingano. Apollo Theater.
Okay.
Thereabouts. So you make the first left at the top.
Yeah.
So right behind Hariza Hall, that road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was where I lived.
Oh, I see.
Yes, our house was called Greenfield. My father's shop in Ghana. As a typical Kwo, I was born in a family of people who, no matter how you schooled, end up owning a shop.
Owning a shop.
Yes, very industrious people.
What about you?
So,
have you?
I think I'll get there. I think I'll get there. So that was in Asalam Down. I schooled in Asalam Down, and then I went to a typical Impartial secondary school because I'm from Kwo.
Yeah.
And then I continued. I went to the UK to do my marketing course. I came back, and then Vanguard Assurance took me in as a marketing officer.
No, that's a little too quick. Slow down. Tell me how it was growing up in Asalam Down with the father who went to Russia and did some shenanigans and came back and called you Norrender.
To Ghana. Okay, so those times, it's very different now. Those times Asalam Down was very quiet. It was more like a residential area. Very, very, very quiet. So we were always like indoors. He used to work at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they say they call something cinematography. I don't know.
He was a cinematographer.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what.
He was a big man, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In simple terms, he was a big man.
Oh, really? I have no idea.
Because I'm sure during his time there were not many
Nafti. He was part with Reverend Chris Hagan. I want to remember his name, but they were with Nafti.
Okay.
Yes. So that was when I was growing up. So the area was quiet. It's not as very loud as it is now.
Absolutely.
Yes. So most of the time we're indoors, and then every time you have
were
to be
they
reading.
strict?
Dad wasn't very loud like my mom.
Okay.
My mom was so
yeah.
but my dad was a gentleman.
Okay.
So normally everybody I would like to be going around him, but don't let his gentleness fool you because he was firm.
Right.
Yeah. But my mom, in as much as she would scream, we didn't used to fear her as much as we did Dad because he would talk less,
yes,
but would act.
Yeah. Who did you take after?
Oh, well, maybe a blend of both. But I think more of Mom.
More of Mom, because Ojano.
Yeah.
Okay.
A bit assertive, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you were taxed to read.
Yeah.
So you had to read your storybooks, and you have to come and give an abridged version of what you've read.
Oh, wow.
So that was how.
How many siblings did you have?
Okay, good. So we were 7 on all, 1 mother, 1 father.
Wow.
Yes, 7 of us. So the chief currently for Bomei, he is the eldest.
Okay.
And then the second is Albert, and then Monica, Charlotte, and myself. So I'm the 5th born.
Okay.
And then I have Wilson behind me and my last sister.
Wow.
But fortunately or unfortunately, it's just the chief and myself that are here. The rest of them, I'm on and I'm Abuchi.
Japan. Oh, I see.
Yes. So
that's a very interesting family, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's us.
How was the home like? Share with me. You all lived together probably when you were much younger?
Yes. We all lived. And for me, I was very fortunate because I think when I was born, my very eldest brother, who is a chief now, he was grown. So virtually, as one to hear me, let me put it that way.
Okay.
And as much as my mom and dad were there, he used to laugh at me that Ubokuko, yeah, nawada. He used to say it.
Yeah.
Yes, he used to say that a lot, and I owe a lot of what I've become to my big brother.
Wow.
Yes, because once I call for no, sort of that kind of thing. Even though they were there, they were present. So I looked more to him.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Then, yeah.
If there was one lesson he taught you, what would it be?
He actually taught me to persevere. And let me tell you this. There was one time I was doing a project with him. And then anytime I'll go, these artisans, somebody would take something, somebody would do that. And I get so frustrated, I get so annoyed, and I keep screaming. He goes like, na sadi we be wieke. Until we are until the Jano. Or we are, but you be.
Yeah.
no, man fan your befan, bedroom ribino, oh, nyam Fabio. And for that, whenever I'm dealing with somebody and they want to outsmart, it just comes to mind.
Yeah.
For how long would you do this? It should definitely get to a point that that thing will be completed. And when this is done, then what next for you?
Yeah.
So it is one thing that I really took with me. And sometimes when you're confronted with certain things, it just automatically just comes to mind.
Yes.
So I'll try as much as I can do to get the things done. But if you want to actually play me, you can do it. But for how long?
Yes.
For how long would that thing be?
No, that's a very valuable lesson. And I'm glad you shared this. I mean, it will stay with me as well.
Oh.
Yeah, because I mean, we've also been in situations where you realize that people are trying to outsmart you and whatnot, and sometimes you don't know what to do. Sometimes you need them as well. So you have to have a nice way of going around it, and you ask yourself, how long? But that's a very lovely lesson. When you were much younger, was there a career path that you wanted to chart?
Seriously, I never thought I would find myself in insurance.
Really?
Nope.
What did you think you were going to do?
Okay, my dad was pushing me to go and read law. And I never got admission. And it goes like, oh, the book baby okay. But then there was an opportunity we read about then, in the 97, 98-ish, like marketing was coming up. It was an ink of the day.
Okay.
And my dad had siblings who lived in London. So they go like, look, my name is Kosi. Now it looks like it's a thing that is catching up. So I read and I realized I liked the customer relation aspect of it because I like to talk to people. I like to see if there's a need that I can help solve. So those were basically what drove me to that line.
Yeah.
Then when I came back, I was applying here, I was applying there. Then it just happened that I got Vanguard Assurance.
Oh.
Okay, so when I got Vanguard Assurance, so it was not, and I got there not because I was an insurance person, I got there because I was a marketing person.
Right.
So when I entered the field, I realized that, this is very new, this is strange. And I didn't have much idea, so I started to read. And I liked to ask questions. Okay, so there was this one particular woman, Madam Ajua Safu. I love that woman. If you go to her 100 times and ask her 100 questions, she'll give you an answer. Yes. And so she helped, and others as well. I had Mrs. Semisa, I had Mr. Baba, and all those people. And then at the lower level, I had people like Mr. Lamte, I had people like Mr. Hanson. So I realized that those people were rising through the ranks.
Yeah.
So I decided when the Ghana Insurance College came, we all decided to enroll, myself and a couple of friends. I have Lily Banyako's wife, and all that. We all enrolled, and then we had a study group. So that is where the insurance liking also came in.
I see. So you literally had to learn on the job and upgrade your knowledge in insurance to stay in there.
Yes. Because it's a specialized field. So if you really do want to stay and rise, then you have to be a professional.
Yes. So you need that technical know-how.
Very much so.
So that you can be
very,
relevant.
Very much so.
And how many years did you spend there?
In Vanguard Assurance, 16 years.
16 years.
16 years.
Why?
I always get this. People don't just understand. Well, let me give this credit to Vanguard. It's like a family. It's like a family. When you are there, when we were there, let me put it that way because I'm not there now. They're bonding. It's Nane Wadako is the type that was a family man and had that close knit thing. The little I saw before he died, so it's more like a home.
Yeah.
Let me put it that way. It was more, because your business was everybody's business, so you felt belonging to be there. So even when the years were passing, I'm sure most of us didn't even realize that the years were just passing. But it got to a state I realized that we had plateaued because you get to a level that before you can go above that level, so and when you feel that you can actually impact in others, then you look at maybe a growing company so that you can be of value to them. So that was how I exited that was basically how I exited, because I realized that, look, now it looks like you have to impact. So when the opportunity presented itself, then why not?
I see. No, but that's an interesting lesson. I mean, and nowadays you hardly have people staying in a certain company for this long. You know, I don't know what has changed.
It's true. Currently, the workforce we know, maybe they get bored too easily.
Okay.
I feel so. And another thing I realize is the apprenticeship spirit is waning.
Really?
Because, initially somebody would want to be at your feet to learn, to understand, and to be where you are. But I don't want to quote people like, now they want things, because of course everything is now like on our fingertips, virtually everything. So we really don't understand. It's like okay. But then for me,
are you speaking to the Gen Zs?
Well, I haven't mentioned anybody's name.
Okay.
Because that's what I've realized. Even currently at the workplaces, you realize that and to pass through that kind of apprenticeship mentoring thing,
I see.
Yeah. Well, for the insurance space, I don't want to speak for other.
No, I would agree. I would agree, because even in my field, when I started radio 20 years ago, you had to understudy somebody. You literally had to, be the assistant and learn on the job, regardless of whatever knowledge that you have. But I hardly see that nowadays. You get it? And I'm sure it's the same in so many other industries as well. So you are probably right about that.
Well, but we keep hammering. We keep educating and directing and telling them that, look, it wasn't built in a day. So try and understand, get the basics. Because once the basics is right, any other thing can be built upon it. But then if it is shabby, it will cave in. Yeah.
Very important lesson there. I'm totally enjoying all the nuggets that you're sharing today. If you're just joining us, this is Personality Profile here on Joy 99.7 FM. I'm Lexus Bill, and this evening I'm spending time with the MD of NSIA Insurance, Obahima Norrender Wordie here on your superstation. That is Mrs. Debrah.
Yes, sir.
And
okay.
Now, within that 16 years, if I asked you the biggest lesson you learned at Vanguard, what will it be?
Impacting, because if I wouldn't be here if my predecessors never did impact. They really did impact. And I always say it in a funny way. Before somebody will teach you something, they will tell you, and all that. But then once you do that and you sit with you, they tell you how things were done then, how it has been done now, and going forward, what should be done.
Okay.
So if you realize that if you don't avail yourself to be doing those little things that sometimes they just want to pull your leg to do, they would leave you. And you can never go back to be asking questions.
Yeah.
That was what I realized.
Yeah.
So for me, I think it is good to submit. And once you do that, all the other blessings, let me put it that way, comes through.
Right.
Yeah.
If you have any questions or contributions, you can send us a WhatsApp message on 055 1111997. That's 055 1111997. Okay? You can WhatsApp us. We're live on Facebook page as well, on our Facebook page, the Joy FM Facebook page. You can put your comment on our page as well, and I'll read them out. So after 16 years, you said, okay, time to find a new challenge. And that's where NSIA Insurance came in.
Yes, sir.
Was that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How was the change? Was it easy to adapt from the beginning?
Oh, no. No. Because I had a culture shock. Let me put it that way.
Oh, is it? Tell me about it.
Yes, because you see, as I told you, where I was, it was more like a close-knit family thing.
Yeah.
And so, and the numbers also. For Vanguard, the number of employees were a lot.
Okay.
And so for NSIA, it's under, say, 40.
Yeah.
So you realize that the number of persons you would have in a unit compared to the other side was very different. And I found it strange, but because it's the same market that we are all competing.
Right.
Yes, but then the good news was that I had to sit and imbibe. The reorientation is that, look, it doesn't matter the size. Once it's a service that we are all delivering, what matters the most is how you would render those services and the turnaround time that you will give. So you don't really need to have all the volumes, but the little you have, how you manage that would make a great impact. And
Right.
I think it helped. So that is how we are still managing.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
I
We are
see.
not as big as the other players. We are 26 on the market.
Yes.
Insurance companies, the non-life companies, we are 26. But then you really need to make a mark, because if you can't satisfy all of them, the little that you can lay your hands on, you have to make a mark.
And keep them.
Yeah. So that is you are making me sell my strategy. Yeah. So that is the strategy you need to use.
Yes.
Because if you can't compete with the big boys, at least the little you have, you
Yeah.
should be able to manage that. Yeah. So
That's right. What was the biggest challenge after you joined then?
okay, so it's people taking up risks and being responsible for it. People taking up responsibilities and being answerable to its consequences. It was one thing I realized that some were a bit laid back. I don't know what had happened in the past. Maybe people were punished or something for something that was not done right. So people were a bit laid back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, if you don't make a mistake, how would you learn from it? You have to make it. Somebody would correct you, and based on that correction, you become a better you. So, look, let's all hold the bull by the horn, and what
Take
we
risks.
don't have to do is something that is illegal and fraudulent.
Yeah.
That we don't have to do. But if it is not illegal and it is not fraudulent, then you have to take those risks. Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
Was that your personality talking?
Yeah, yes, it is, because I don't have to do anything that is illegal. I don't have to do anything that is fraudulent, and I don't have to do anything that goes against the core values of the organizations.
Yeah.
So any actions I'm taking, I'm guided by these things.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do anything which is illegal. I don't have to do anything that is fraudulent. So if it is none of these, and I'm not breaking the core values, the visions, then I have to go for it.
Then you go for it.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Would you say this is the key to rising through the corporate ladder?
Yes, because you see, if you don't take the bull by the horn and take the risks, how would you know the outcome? You wouldn't know the outcome unless you take those risks. You weigh it. Okay? The situation that you find yourself in, you just weigh it and then take the risks.
Now I'm curious, what kind of leader are you?
Well, I'm a team player type. I don't like imposing. I seek opinion. But then if I look at the aim, I see whether those opinion would help meet that aim.
Okay.
But I would definitely seek opinion. I would definitely ask for inputs.
Okay.
Yeah, no matter the level that a person is, it doesn't matter, because, of course, so look, sometimes it's just a word that anybody would pass, but that word can give you a strategy.
Yeah.
So you don't have to undermine anybody's words or inputs. You always have to listen to anybody, everybody. You have to listen. You really don't have to be looking at ranks when you are taking. No. Just listen. So at the end of the day, you put all together, and then for the good of that aim that is up there, which one best fits? That's it.
And that's it. Wow. And you've risen to become the managing director now, which I'm very sure is an arduous task.
It is. It is, because you are the chief servant. Let me put it that way. Because virtually everything ends up on your table. Everything. All the levels will do whatever they will do. By the end of the day, it will end up on your table. So you'll be the chief HR, the chief finance, whether you know finance or not.
Yes.
You'll be the chief auditor, whether you know auditor or not. So for whatever it is, at the end of the day, to end up on your table. So you need to be apt.
Yeah.
And then seek counsel also, because you don't know it all. So you speak to people who have risen through that and have made it.
Yeah.
And then you ask for counsel.
Good. I'm really excited when women like you rise to the top.
Thank you.
Because it's a shining light for a lot of young women out there. There's so many things we're doing to empower women to take up challenges and whatnot. One of the things I want to find out is, what role did being a woman play in your career journey?
Under the Vanguard environment, I think being a male or female really didn't matter. It is the task and who delivers it. So the gender really didn't have anything to do with it. So as a person, if a role is available or a task is given and you feel that you are up to it, you should just go for it. Yes. So
there were no challenges along the line just because you were a lady?
Oh, well. It comes in once in a while, but you see, it depends on you. Will you let that get to you? If this is what you set up your mind to do, and because I'm a woman, I'm getting these challenges, are you doing something illegal that will pose that? If not, that's the point. If not, you might hit it. You might have hitches. But then, if you keep pushing at it, no matter what, somebody else will see that, look, this person can maybe do this and deliver this better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you get it. You get it. But it actually, for me, okay, let me put it myself. For me, it really didn't get me down.
Okay. But there were those challenges.
Oh, yes, it's a man's world. I'm sorry.
Oh, is it?
Insurance space. How many? Well, now we are a lot. Female MDs, we are a lot. But when I joined, hardly. In 2002, you can check, hardly. But now, as we speak in 2023, I can see we have about 5 and change. Yes, both life in general. So
I think there's the Chartered Insurance Ladies
CELAC.
Association of Ghana.
CELAC.
Or something of
Yeah,
sort.
that's CELAC.
Yeah.
And so we now we have the force.
No, but it's interesting. Why was that the case? Why was it a man's world? What was insurance
Then
a man's
insurance,
world?
insurance is a field. It's a very technical field, and those times, until the Ghana Insurance College came, you had to read and read and read before you write the NSIA UK to pass. It wasn't an easy thing. I remember I mentioned Madam Adjasa Fujijoli.
Yes.
That's one of, and I know she's one of the early women to have chartered.
Okay.
And when she describes her experience, it took her quite some time.
Yeah.
So there was no school here locally, so you really had to be in your books to be able to sail through. So it wasn't a field that most people, Nadia, I feel now insurance. It wasn't too easy.
Yeah.
Yes, but so it wasn't a field that most females were going into it. But then I know the Gambia came, and SIC, for instance, were taking a lot of people there to help them become professionals.
Yeah.
So that was until the Ghana Insurance College came, and then it helped the industry to be able to train people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, if you're just joining in, this is Personality Profile with Lexus Bill. You probably have missed a lot. We've had a very good conversation with the managing director of NSIA Insurance Ghana Limited. You can WhatsApp us on 055 1111997. Mrs. Norrender Wordie Debrah is my guest this evening, and Abeku, if you can pull up this message for me, because I just got a message that I'd love to read. Hello, Lexus. Good to listen to this great lady. We used to work together. I was then at is that Gras Savoy?
Gras Savoy or what?
Is it Gras
Gras Savoy? Yes, Willis.
Gras Savoy, Willis International.
Yeah.
Norrender is a down-to-earth lady. Congratulations to her. From Philip Kwashiga.
Oh my!
Bloodball.
Yes, Philip, thank you.
Yes, that's Philip there. Good evening, Lexus. I am encouraged by this inspirational message shared by the CEO. Her philosophy of being a team player is very insightful, and I'd love to emulate that. That's from Edmund Awaite. Thank you, Edmond, for your message as well. 055 Wow, good stuff. Let's talk about NSIA Insurance. Tell me about your company. Of course, there are like 26 non-life insurance companies in Ghana.
Yeah.
It's a very vibrant market right now, even though the penetration is very low.
Yeah.
But there's so many players. How does NSIA Insurance set itself apart?
Okay, so as I mentioned that we have very big players on the market. So what you need to do is that the little portfolio you have, you should manage it and keep it well. NSIA is a Pan-African insurance company. We have companies sailing through the West African line, so headquartered in Abidjan.
Okay.
So we have Abidjan, we have Togo, we have Nigeria, we have Ghana, we have Guinea-Bissau, and all that line. So for Ghana, our market share is not that much.
Okay.
But I believe that with our growth and the niching on the portfolios you have, with time, we would get there. Yeah, because I've seen the bigger ones before.
Yeah.
And so the young too shall grow.
Yes, absolutely.
So we'll definitely get there
I
to
see.
make an impact on the market.
So you do more of the motor insurance?
We do all the lines, from motor to travel to marine to fire,
right,
to homeowners and all that. Every policy underwritten on the market we underwrite.
Except life.
Yes, except life. It's a composite company. You have to be life and non-life.
Yes.
So NSIA Ghana is a non-life insurance company.
Okay,
yes,
that's great. You've got an amazing team, Johnson and the crew, who are doing some good stuff.
Thank you.
How's it like working with them?
They are actually the drivers of the organization, because for the marketing team, they are the ones that sell you. So I have to say a very big thank you to them, Johnson through to Poku and then Robert and Co. They have actually helped NSIA Insurance, and I believe that come 2024 they will have good strategies that will help me penetrate more. And I'm grateful for that. Not just them, the whole team actually, from the underwriters through to the claims people, through to the finance team, HR and all that, and the branches as well.
Look at how you stylishly give them work.
Oh, yes.
You are thanking them, and you're like, they have to remember in 2024, they have to come up with good strategies. Well, you heard it, Team NSIA. You heard it. they've outlined your task for you already. Before you go for your Christmas holidays, that's what you're going to go for.
Oh, we are not breaking.
You're not breaking.
No, we are not breaking.
So you don't have a Christmas.
Oh, no, we don't. For insurance, people's policies can expire any time, any day.
Yes.
So until the very last day of 31st, we are all coming to work. And unfortunately, when the next working day, which is the Monday, 2nd or 3rd, whenever we are going, we are working.
I was going to say that I'm going to invite you to the family party in the park on the 26th. So we need to have a conversation with your boss. Then I realized that you are the boss. So, I don't know how we are going about this.
Oh, we'll do skeletons. Some people will be there and some of us will come and jump.
That's good, because we have a family party in the park at the Bree Botanical Gardens on 26th of December.
Okay.
It's a good time to bring the family together. Yes, you and the 7 kids.
No, that's for the 7. They are my mother's and my father's children, not my own.
Taking after them.
Oh, I have 3 of them.
Yes, so that's cool. It'd be good to bring the family along, take them out. Mommy gets busy all the time. I'm sure you have a very hectic schedule, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
If I tell you where I'm coming from today and all that, it's not an interesting.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. But we manage it.
What drives you?
To get things done. To get these things done drives me. And if we say that this is what we want to achieve, I get the joy to see that it is done. That is the satisfaction. You see, it gives you, when you just exhale, it's fun.
Yeah.
And you see that if people have met what you've asked them to do and they smile, it's warmth.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's your biggest regret?
Not daring enough to read the books enough to get the law. That thing, I am till now. Because I say I am Papa de. I need it. Yeah, maybe even in my old age, maybe I should try. And now I can do. Now I can do.
Yeah, now you can do it.
Now
It's not too late.
Actually, this year no.
What bread? What's your dear son? Anyway,
but anyway.
Oh, Norrender, you're so fun. I'm totally enjoying this.
Thank you.
Now, what's the greatest fear?
Well, fear of the unknown, eh? Fear of the unknown. But, well, my consolation is one. Even though I don't know, at least I believe I have a God who knows. So in as much as I have the fear of I really do fear the unknown.
Yeah.
But I take that consolation in the fact that he knows. So I just leave it up to him.
Yeah.
That's my consolation.
That's right. That's good. Okay. I've got lots of messages here. A lot of people are enjoying listening to you. Hi, Lexus. I'm listening to you live and enjoying the interview. I worked with Norrender at Vanguard. Very good lady, always ready to help. And the name is Donko. All right, Donko, thank you so much for your message. And good evening. This is from Kay. This is such an inspirational conversation. But my question is, how do you balance between your life and your work? Okay. Norrender?
Okay, so, well, I have people that help me because the work is very, very daunting. So I actually set up times and tasks for myself. So if Mondays I decide to close at maybe 6, Tuesday I do it like 4, so that I will have time to be able to be there for them. Fortunately, I have 2 adults who are out of home. So the little one that is home, I try to do homework with him, and he's not that little. He's actually in GSS, but he's the last one. So I try to be there, but I make sure that I sign every work. And then for my husband, he's also not around most of the time, but then we try to find time to have fun and to be there for each other. So that's how I do it, because the work is actually, it takes a lot of time. So you just have to make a conscious effort to apportion the time so that you don't leave aside to bleed. Because it tends to happen. So you just have to make a conscious effort to apportion the times to be there.
Good stuff. I mean, there's so many young people who are inspired by your story and are listening to you now. If you had to share a word of advice, what would it be?
Well, they should always go for what they have passion for. Because if you're doing something and you're not very passionate about it, you can be doing it every day, but it just becomes like a chore. But then if you are very passionate about it, you get that inner satisfaction. So they should go for their passion.
There you go.
And then they will be fine.
Good stuff. Lawyer.
Disappointed.
Disappointed lawyer. Norrender Wordie Debrah. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I've totally enjoyed having this conversation with you, and I need to congratulate you one more time.
Thank you.
On this amazing role that you've taken, and I wish you all the best as well.
Thank you.
Hopefully, next year sees growth in NSIA Insurance's fortunes and portfolio as well. And God's blessings.
Thank you.
I'm grateful that you came by.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Lexus Bill, and it's been a very great evening. Thank you so much for spending time with us here on Personality Profile. Mrs. Norrender Wordie is the Managing Director. Wordie Debrah. Yes, Mrs. Norrender Wordie Debrah is the Managing Director of NSIA Insurance Ghana.